In this video, I'm going to introduce you to the pirate funnel and immediately also the first phase of the pirate funnel called the awareness phase. So what is exactly the pirate funnel? Yeah, it's this funnel that we see as our marketing funnel. And we will walk you through in this course through all the different phases of the funnel and give you tangible ideas of experiments that you can execute. The reason that it's called pirate funnel is because you take the first letters of each phase of the funnel, the word spells AAARRR, and that's also what a pirate says. Not my joke, but it's just the way it is. So first of all, awareness. First phase of the funnel, awareness. We need to make sure that people know that we exist, that our products exist. Very interesting if we want to tackle a new audience, we want to push a new product in a market, we want to reach a new market. So we need to make sure there's a bit of awareness. I brought a bit of cases here today with me because it will give you a bit of tangible results and that you can have an idea of what you can expect of these kind of experiments. First case is a case of a B2B software company. So what they do is that they make software for transport companies. I really like it if a company is super niche down, so that it's very clear that this is their target audience, this is who they're going to go after. Word of mouth is their most valuable marketing channel. This is for me a very strong indicator that there is product market fit, that there is an audience that wants this product. At the moment they are trying outreach, but they realize that it's a very manual and time intensive process. So yeah, it's not always a positive ROI. What they want is more leads for sales to follow up. They want these meetings automatically scheduled in their calendar to then have an increased amount of customers. And this is the exact email that we use to send it out. So the strategy we use here is called emailing. We're reaching out to an audience that has never heard from us before. Subject line was very simple, something for company name. So everything you see here in double brackets, we filled in the variables and made it personalized for the person that is going to receive it on the other hand. Subject line, something for company name. So for example, something for Apple. And then we say here, dear first name. And then in the first paragraph here, I want to explain them why I am contacting them today. Since we're already working with similar companies like company name, it seemed interesting to contact you today. I've also already sent you a connection request on LinkedIn. So I explain you, this is why I contact you today. I've also did that connection request on LinkedIn, which I of course fully automated to show like, okay, this is why we need to talk. And this is, I think you're a very relevant person. Then you pitch your solution and your value in 2 sentences. Don't overdo it. We need to make sure that this email stays short and snappy. And what we then do is that we say, I would like to present you some cases of potential customers or potential competitors because I think the results might be interesting for you and company name. So here I'm trying to give him some value. Mistake that a lot of companies make here is that they try to ask something immediately. They want to push some demos, that they want to maybe ask for a meeting, but I want to give you value. We're doing this already for your competitors. You're probably not doing this. I want to show you how we're doing this. And I'm also explaining you a bit like, yeah, maybe you're missing out because they're doing this, they're growing and you're not. And then my call to action. Let me know if this interests you. Then we can schedule a short 15-minute call. So 15 minutes between these brackets, because I think it's very important that they realize that it's not a very high time investment. It's very easy for them to do this, and then kind regards with my signature underneath. So this is the exact email that we used, and what we then saw is that we sent it out to 311 people. We had a 65% open rate, but more importantly, we had a 50% reply rate on the people who opened the email. This then also translated into every day 1 extra demo call for the salespeople. So if we saw these results, then it was only natural to scale it. We talked about the growth process in one of the previous lessons. So if you have a success, scale it. Then instead of 311 people, we send it to 1,000 people. And then we sadly had to pause the campaign because sales could not follow up as fast as we are sending out these cold emails. So very important to keep your sales and marketing department in sync, because if this happens, yeah, you need to make sure that your campaigns are not generating leads that cannot be followed up. Make sure that you can also experiment with social ads. This is an example of a social ad campaign that we did for a company prior to launching. They did this campaign where they tried to generate people leaving their information and filling in a questionnaire so that they could learn from their target audience what are they actually looking for, what are the problems that they're facing, so that they could change their messaging and make sure that the value that they were offering was relevant. Nice thing was there that they gave away a gift voucher of €100 to someone who filled in the questionnaire. They generated tons of email addresses, and they used these email addresses the moment that they launched their solution. They had a list of early adopters that they could contact. If you're going to experiment with social ads, don't try to immediately push ads that need to drive an immediate conversion. This simply doesn't work. You need to make sure that you warm up your audience, that they first see you, that they trust you, that they see this is actually the value that it can offer, to then eventually bring in sales. So I always compare this to, in my case, if I would go to a bar and I would see a nice girl, that I would not go up to her and ask her to marry me. That just doesn't work. We need to do a bit of dating first. She needs to understand me, I need to understand her, she needs to trust me, and then we can move down the funnel. So make sure, top of the funnel, that you try to show them that you understand them, that you understand their problems, give them a lot of value. I love to use videos in there. And what I then do is that I make sure that people watch at least 15, 20, 30 seconds of my video, and I retarget those people. Means the people that watch 30 seconds of my video, they will see another ad. And in that ad, I'm trying to give them some value in exchange for an email address. Could be like a checklist, it could be an ebook, it could be whatever that they give to them in exchange for an email address, phone number, or whatever other kind of information. Because then in the next step, I will start nurturing them. I will send them emails to go from the point of, okay, I want this free thing, they're a marketing qualified lead, to, okay, I'm ready to buy something from you, sales qualified lead. That gap we're going to close with that email nurture journey to then eventually generate more sales. If you're in B2B, definitely experiment with LinkedIn. LinkedIn's such a powerful platform. There's so much attention in there. Not a lot of people are actually creating content. Be smart, try to do other things, experiment with polls, with videos, with pure content. Try different things and see what works for you. Try to not post direct links to your website, because the LinkedIn algorithm will hate you for that. This is actually the post that made sure that our business really exploded. So what we did is that we wrote an ebook, and then people could get this ebook if they commented underneath the post. My ebook was called Lead Generation, a Guide to Plant Money Trees. I got 20,000 views on those posts. I got 420 people that left their information, or they just said, I want this ebook. And by them replying on the post, I want this ebook, then their network also got notified. So this created a sort of ripple effect for me to reach my ideal audience. The nice thing is that people that are interested in an ebook about lead generation, yeah, they're also my potential clients, because I can offer them services to actually help them with lead generation. So then I had a lot of people responding to this post. I was of course not going to manually follow up with all of them, so then I used my favorite growth marketing tool called Phantombuster to automate this. And then I said, hey Michiel, thank you for your comment. I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts after you've read the ebook. As I mentioned in the video, this ebook is quite large, so I can't share it in a LinkedIn message. Can you send me your mail address so I can forward it to you? Everyone responded. I got all their email addresses, and this was very beneficial for me. So now suddenly people that were not connected with me were in my LinkedIn network. So they would keep on seeing my LinkedIn content. Second, I had now access. Second, I now was able to send them direct messages. Direct messages have an open rate of more than 95%, so that was super, super relevant for me. And of course now, yeah, I got their email address, so I could send them nurture emails, and they could keep on seeing my content. Could push them further down the funnel towards a meeting with me. This was the entire flow that I used, so the different tools that were all tied together, and this was how I generated a lot of extra business for our company. Final thing that I want to talk about is communities. Use these communities, try to be present there. Don't be the guy that is constantly selling his solution. Make sure that people see you as a thought leader, that start trusting you, and then based on those things you can introduce yourself and then maybe sometimes talk about your product, but make sure that you're present in communities, share your value, and then the rest will follow. This is the exact post that gave us our first Canadian customer. They saw this post on Reddit. He clicked through on a link. They came to my website. He downloaded an ebook. They're in that MQL phase, in the marketing qualified lead. I sent him some emails to try to schedule a meeting with me. He did. We had that meeting and he became a customer. So that's how you can play this community game. Be present in communities, give value, and make sure that there are ways that you eventually will capture his information and then transform him into a customer. This was the awareness phase. We're now going to move on to the next phase of the funnel, which is the acquisition phase. See you in the next lesson.